How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Minecraft Let's Play. My name, of course, is System Z, and I am flying through the air. I am headed to the mob farm that we built in the last episode to grab some more gunpowder, because I've only got a little bit on me. But guys, it has been working absolutely amazingly. I've installed these bubble columns. Well, actually, I believe we did that in the episode, but I've done a couple of things to the system. And overall, guys, I still stand by it by saying this is by far the best thing I've ever made when it comes to mob farms. I've also made an automated furnace system here just so we can kind of quickly smelt some things. But during a live stream, I actually made an automated sorting system, and it doesn't look great. Like I said, I don't really know what to do with this room yet, but ultimately it's coming along. But yeah, this is what we've got in just a little bit of time. It's absolutely insane. I've maybe AFK'd for 2 hours here, and for about 50% of that time, well, not 2 hours, a little bit more, but for most of the time, the chest that was originally there got filled up and it got backed up with rotten flesh. So we didn't even get all that we could have gotten. So I'm probably going to do an AFK session overnight tonight to see how it goes and kind of update you on the next episode. But so far, this is proving to be absolutely amazing. And what I want to do is go ahead and grab a little bit of gunpowder here. That way we can go ahead and craft some more fireworks. And I also need to go ahead and organize my chest here because they're all out. And the only reason I have shulker boxes is so that I can access them anywhere I go, as long as we have an inner chest. So that means I need to be doing this and not leaving them out. But yeah, guys, let's go ahead and get back onto the surface, and I'm going to tell you what we're going to do today. Alright, guys, so today is the day. We are finally going to be working on the Survival Island project, which is probably going to take a couple of episodes, but ultimately I do plan on having the top layer of the island done today, except for the huge observer that we're going to put on it. So no structures, mainly just landscaping, meaning we're going to have to get quite a lot amount of resources today. But anyways, what we need to do first is go grab some sugarcane here. I need to make this a better system. That way we can continue, making fireworks as we need them. But for now, that system works. I basically just have an observer sugarcane farm, like a single sugarcane farm right back there, and it just pumps them out into there. But yeah, guys, welcome back. I want to say thank you very much, because last episode, you guys gave me some... I just made sugar with all of that. It's not what I needed to make. But last episode, you guys gave me some amazing suggestions and also gave me some feedback, and you let me know that ultimately if we place a fish via bucket, it will not affect the mob cap. So thank you very much for the responses, guys. I really appreciate that you guys watch and, make sure to pay attention and help me out whenever I do ask questions. I very, very much appreciate that. And all I need you to do now is leave a thumbs up if you enjoy. That's the only thing I ever hoped that you guys would do. But otherwise, I promise I won't be asking too many questions. Alright, so we should be able to make a decent amount of fireworks. I want to do those, though, just so that way we can get the more powerful ones with the longer flight duration. Not that well, wait a minute. Oh, I must have made a little bit more than I needed. Whoops. I guess we can always just keep some in here. But, yeah, guys, we need to go grab some sand, actually. So that's kind of what we're going to do first. I know there's a huge desert over that way, because during a live stream, I did try and go out and get sand, but I died on the way back and lost everything. So, yeah, but that's not going to happen this time. Oh, no, we are going to be successful and land nice and safely. Oh, okay, we went over the running pad a little bit. I didn't even remember that there's a village here. Is this a new area entirely? I actually did get some villagers, and I brought them back, by the way. I did that during a live stream, so I haven't really showed you guys that yet. But oh, I'm so sorry. Let's hide the evidence. I didn't mean to do that. That never happened. Boop, blooper. But yeah, guys, now I just need to get tons of sand, because ultimately that is going to be one of the main parts of this island. We're going to use sand for a huge portion of it. Of course, we'll also use grass, but we're going to need this, probably a couple leaves and some tree logs to do some terraforming, some stone, and all that good stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and try and get a whole bunch of this to take back. That way we don't have to keep coming out here every time we need it. And I'll see you guys, and we'll go ahead and start building in just a moment. You know, guys, sometimes I forget just how nice Unbreaking 3 really is. I completely forgot to put it on my shovel, and it's gone. I didn't quite get as much as I wanted, but hey, that's fine. By the way, guys, I just wanted to say, a lot of you have been asking how I got the new textures for 1.13. The truth is, I haven't done that yet. As you can see, it's extremely broken. There is no version for 1.13 right now, but only vines and I believe horses are broken. So you can just use the 1.12 version and it'll work just fine. But ultimately, you will have to put up with this. I've tried to fix it, but I couldn't really figure out how. So until then, until they release a new one, we're going to have to deal with that. Alright guys, I think we are all good, set, and ready to go. I do have a shulker box here full of cobblestone, and we've also got our sand, of course. I just noticed that our elytra has a little less than half of its lifespan left. And I know that we need phantom membranes to kind of, you know, repair that. I don't really like the process of getting them, though, because it's scary. Do you guys know any phantom farms? Let me know, because that would be very, very cool. But anyways, guys, I've learned a few techniques from Good Times with Scar for building islands that'll kind of make it a little bit easier. And the first one being to use cobblestone mainly as your building source. That way you can just put the sand on top of it and just kind of make the shape with cobblestone. I want to do it with this beacon being pretty much in the center. It doesn't directly have to be the center, but at least close to it, just so that way we can easily get down to the mob farm whenever we need. I want it to be balanced, though. I want it to be right directly in the middle of these two islands, just so we have enough space. But what we're going to need to do first is get some of this going. I don't even think I can do that. Come on. Okay, this isn't going to work. Can I do it on the side? Oh, I don't like swimming. This is bad. Okay, there we go. All right, hopefully we can get to it. Cool. Now we just need to do cobblestone. Let's do one under it to be easy, because it's going to be one layer down since we are going to have the sand kind of on top. And I'm also going to need dirt, but for now we're just going to make a main majority of the island out of sand and then decorate it as we go. So now I basically just need to make a shape that we can go with for this island. Alright guys, this is turning out to be a lot more of a daunting task than I thought it'd be. This is the island that I have basically shaped out. Now, ultimately, it's not done. We could do more. I'm thinking of even having another section over in that area. But it's very rough right now. I think once we actually start doing the landscaping, though, it'll probably even out and look a little bit better. But I need to make sure that we can fit a couple of things on this island. One, I'd like to add a basic little port, so that way we can build a replica of our boat over there and then remove that one. That way our boat is where it needs to be, because trust me, I want to keep that boat. I love it. It's our first boat, and I think it could be awesome. And then we're also going to need to fit a gigantic observer and a couple of villager houses as well along the sides, and of course some farms. The next thing we're going to have to do is make sure that it's all lit up and that no mobs can spawn on it at all. Because obviously if they can, that's going to affect our farm below. So we've got a very tricky island on our hands here, but I think it will all play out all right. All we got to do now is start filling this shape in, and then we can start kind of putting sand on it and just doing all that kind of stuff. So let me make a little bit more progress, and I'll see you guys in just a minute. Alright guys, I have finally finished filling it all in, and I can tell you right now, we do not have anywhere near enough sand to do even one layer of all of these islands together. It's going to take a lot more than I thought it would, both resources and time. We're also going to need to connect each island up using this technique here, which I actually did get from Good Times with Scar. Basically, I do want to connect each island with kind of sand underneath the water. We're also going to need to go around the entire perimeter of the entire set of islands and do the same thing all the way down to the bottom of the sea. So that is going to take a lot of time and be very, very difficult. But overall, the final product is going to be amazing. But guys, we need to go ahead and get started. I've basically used like all of my cobblestone. Thank goodness we did that project from last episode, because that honestly is going to help so much with the final product. But basically now all we need to do is go along and just place sand and basically fill it all in. Now I am going to do grass as well in the middle, so we're really not going to need to do all sand, but this is going to allow us to at least get started with the landscaping. And basically what you want to do whenever doing stuff like this is create something that you can mold. You really don't want to just start decorating right off the bat. You want to create a shape that you can kind of fine tune and mold into something even better. So think of starting out with like a sphere when you're using clay, and you might start working into that and creating the details later. That's essentially what you want to do for building. I have already used one stack, and I've only done one line. Oh gosh. This is gonna take so long! Do you guys smell what's in the air right now? No, it is not the salty sea breeze. It is instead the smell of progress. Da 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 da! The island is coming along nicely. Though I gotta be honest, I don't really entirely like it. What is the smell of progress anyways? I guess it's like sand and grass in this case. It's the smell of an island coming together, which is nice and all good. But I don't really like what's going on in the water. I'm probably going to spend way too much time working on this over the next few days, just trying to get it, you know, where I want it to be. It looks just too man-made right now, so it's very rough. But overall, what's important is what's on top right now, because we need to make sure that we have enough room to be able to build our structure next episode, which is going to be the huge observer microscope looking building. It's going to be very, very cool. But before we move on, what we need to do is play with a couple of designs so that we can start working on getting trees and different forms of landscaping in the area. And as you can see, we've got kind of a good shulker box full of tools here. I got some birch logs because I want to experiment with some of the new blocks. If you didn't know, there's now a thing called a stripped log block, and this is actually the first time I've done it. That actually looks really, really cool. There's also now an all-around log block, as you can see here. So you can now basically have a full surface log block, and then you can also strip that to get this material here. I think what we're going to do for our palm trees, which, by the way, we're doing palm trees, is we're going to do the one all the way around. I think that just makes more sense ultimately, and the only problem is now we're going to have an extra little stripped log here, because I don't think you can turn them back. But whatever. So yeah, we're going to need to basically turn these all like this first, and then we probably don't even really need to go through each one. We can just do it as we go. Whoops, I guess I put the wrong one in there. So ultimately, my design isn't really that difficult at all. It's actually very simple. I guess let's put it about, we'll do one right here. Actually, let's do one over here for now. Right here is a good spot. So we're going to do a palm tree pretty much right here. We'll probably do two, but what I'm going to do is basically curve it. So it's going to kind of go up by 4, and then we're going to go up probably by 2 on this one. We really don't need anything crazy. And then we can go ahead and start stripping these down. That way we don't have to go through each one and do it. So that should provide a decent shape. Then we can also do that, maybe even one more, just to add a little bit more of a base. The only problem is they will kind of mix match, but that's fine. That's kind of natural to Minecraft at the end of the day. Now we got to basically figure out how to make a palm tree, because I've got to be honest, I don't really know. So we're just going to have to play around. I'm probably going to do like a star shape, because I think that's probably, you know, the most common way to do it. I do have a tutorial on my channel I found out from a long time ago, like 2 years ago or something like that, of a palm tree. And man, oh man, have I come a long way, guys, just with my commentary alone. It's crazy to see how much you've changed. I really need to go back and like watch all my old videos or something. Would you guys like to see that? Let me know. But yeah, it's very interesting to go back and watch those. But ultimately, that tutorial wasn't the greatest, because I showed how to build a very bulky tree, and that's really not what you want out of a palm tree. So this is probably going to be the most standard design ever, because it seems like a lot of people do this. But ultimately, palm trees don't really have too many leaves anyways. It's really just about a little hat on top is what I like to call it. So yeah, I don't really need to worry about too much here. But we do need to make sure it at least looks decent, which it's coming along from what I can tell. Did I do all the sides already? I did not. It looks very weird right now. So let's go ahead and continue it and get it finished. Just need to grab a couple of bones, but I think I did find a tree design that ultimately works. It's a little bit taller. It's good to see that this is still working, by the way. But it is a little bit taller than the one that we did before, and I think that just fits a little bit better. Ultimately, the one before would just be way too small and really lack any interest. And I think when we do other trees around the place, we're even going to do bigger ones than that. But my idea for it is that what we're going to do is basically do groups of 2 and groups of 3 and do them kind of on the corners, and maybe a couple in the center. Maybe really only one over here, because this is going to be a little too busy over there. I'll try and find some other things to do for that. But now what we need to do is, well, we actually need to go grab some grass with this silk touch, and we need to try and get a little bit of stuff down onto the ground. And I want to experiment with some seagrass. I think that could be really cool. I can already tell you guys right now that I'm going to go overboard with this seagrass thing. I love it so much. It's so good looking, but it just adds way too much each time you place it. So I've really got to be careful with that and need to go through and kind of pick off the ones that I don't want in there. But for now, that adds a little bit more life to it. And I've also put a little bit of seagrass here just to add a little bit more life. And you know what? I think that we need something like this but for sand. I feel like sand is just too flat. And of course there's like slabs and stairs. That way you can kind of make, different levels. But ultimately there's nothing to really make it, rise and go down. I think it'd be really cool if we had a snow layer equivalent to sand. That'd be very, very cool. But could get very, very tedious at the end of the day. So what I want to do, the reason I've got my bucket is because I really want to go find a fish that we can just kind of temporarily get. Oh, here's one lone survivor. You're gonna be with me for now on, buddy. Oh, come on. I don't know how to do it. There we go. Oh, no. Dang it. We're gonna have to fix that. The problem with what I'm about to do is we're gonna let a fish free into the world because I'm gonna be placing it right here just because I want to see what it's gonna look like to have fish kind of swimming through here. But because there's nothing at the end, this fish is going to be able to go off into the ocean and presumably even further, even though it'll never despawn. So we're going to have one fish that'll be on the world as long as I am, which is fine. That shouldn't hurt anything too bad. Let's go ahead and place that fish down. So yeah, that's what it would look like to have fish just swimming through here casually. I wish that they would already. And what I need to know is, do you guys know if a fish that is placed by a bucket stays in the area that it's been placed in? Because if it does, then we could just get a couple of fish and put them in here, and they'll presumably, again, stay in this area, which would be very, very cool. Because that just adds a nice little bit of life into it. And plus, it's always cool to be able to see stuff moving. So if you're walking over here and you see a pack of fish kind of going through, that could be really, really cool. Oh yeah, I love it so much. But guys, what we need to do now... Oh, you know what? Actually, one thing I did want to say. What we could do, if that's not the case, we could get barrier blocks in creative mode. I know it's cheating, but we could do barrier blocks that won't be seen, but will keep the fish from going. I think that could be pretty cool. But ultimately, probably really not necessary. But guys, before it gets dark, what I want to do is show you one more thing that I'm going to do to this island, and then I'm going to go ahead and try and get it all finished. You've seen this before if you've been part of my channel for a while, but if you haven't, this is actually a design 100% inspired by Good Times with Scar. You can actually build rocks using andesite and stone, cobblestone and all that, by doing some stuff like this here. Just kind of randomly throughout the place, and it actually helps quite a bit. We could even technically do it here in the sand, which would actually look pretty good now that I think about it. Well, we can do stuff like that and really just kind of add, texture and detail into the island. So that's one thing that I'm going to do because it adds a little bit of depth as well, which is always good. Now, before it gets dark, I'm going to go ahead and sleep. But guys, I'm going to get pretty much the entire island done with the landscaping, and I'm going to show you guys the end result. But I've got a lot of work ahead of me, so hopefully we can get it all done today in time for the episode. But guys, thank you so much for watching so far. Make sure to leave a thumbs up if you are enjoying, and let me go ahead and get the landscaping done. Guys, the island is finally done, at least for the top part. As you can see, there's still a lot of kelp and water underneath the island, so we're gonna really need to work on bringing that edge down to the bottom of the sea very soon, but that should not take too long overall. I've done the trees in a way that I'm very, very happy with. As you can see, we've kind of got a clutter of them here. Then we got about 4 trees over here. We got 3 in the back and then 1 over in that area there. And I think that's just a nice balance and really kind of opens up the island and makes it feel, well, like an island. I've also done coarse blocks throughout the entire grassland as well as some rocks, and I think that kind of adds it all together. But ultimately, guys, I'm very excited to see where it all goes. The only thing I haven't all the way done is, oh, look at that, guys. There's actually fish kind of coming into this area. This is what I love so much about this update, is the fact that you can kind of be standing by water and see so much movement, and I love it so much. I really hope they swim through. That'd be really cool. But yeah, I haven't done all the seagrass because if we take a peek over here, you'll see I haven't even really done the edge of the island yet. So that's going to take a lot of time. But once I do that, I will definitely be placing the seagrass. But guys, my plan for this island is first, we're going to build a port over here. And that's where we're going to move the pirate ship from over there. That way we can kind of keep our first house as a memory and part of the island. So we're going to put it right here and dock it to the port. And then after that, this isn't in any building order, by the way. That's just something I do want. We're going to do a structure here. This is going to be our main laboratory where we keep all of our items and where we keep all of our farms. We're going to do an observer. It's going to look like a microscope pointed into the sky, and I think it's going to be amazing. And if all goes as planned, I'd like to point it towards the sun as well. That would be very, very cool. Or at least towards some stars or something. I don't know. But yeah, that's going to be very, very cool and make this island look really interesting. And then after that, we're going to do farms kind of on the outer edges just for little details. And then we're also going to do some villager houses. That way we can actually have villager trading and all that good stuff nearby. And it all starts next episode. And during this time between episodes, what I'm probably going to do, gonna take a couple of episodes, but we're gonna probably start doing this off camera just because I kind of got my own groove. I gotta listen to music when I do it, so I can't really record it. And I wish I had the replay mod. I did see some comments about people asking for my old montages. Guys, the replay mod is currently not available for this version, so I've gotta wait, but once it does come, don't worry, I will definitely be doing those montages again. Alright guys, that's gonna do it for today. Thank you very much for hanging out with me while we've built this island. And guys, it's taken me about 2 days total to really get this all built and everything. So make sure to leave a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel for more building content. And guys, that is gonna do it for today. My name has been System Z. You guys have been awesome, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.